Hey everybody, thanks so much for checking out this Romines Fitness workout analysis video. The very first one. I'm really excited to be bringing these to you all. So let's jump right in. I start my workout with a warm-up circuit of 3 exercises. This first exercise is great for everybody, whether you sit a bunch or you're an athlete moving around a bunch. It is a great exercise. These side lunges, they stretch our adductors, and they also get us stronger in our adductors in that wide position. So get super wide on these. The toes out, knees out. Don't let those knees collapse inward. From there, just keep that chest up, keep good control, a nice good, controllable tempo, and then go a little deeper on each rep. Really push the stretch on these and make each rep a little tougher than the last one, keeping those feet flat on the ground. And that's a recipe for success in the side lunges. Up next, I start cranking my rotator cuffs a little bit with some internal, external rotations using the tubing. I've got 3 key concepts for these today. The first, I wish I would have paid attention to more, which is a wide base. So please make note, my wide base is non-existent here. You need to be way wider than me. Get shoulder width apart at least. Athletes and non-athletes alike, we need to start getting a lot more comfortable in a wider base. 2 is a 90-degree angle with the arm at the elbow that's pulling the tubing. So if that elbow starts getting a more obtuse angle than 90 degrees, you're extending your elbow, which means you're using your triceps to move that tubing a little too much. So try to keep it at around 90 degrees and use that rotator cuff. 3 is a quick tempo. You're not going to hurt yourself doing these, so crank them out, baby. All right, so after those, I get into some spider touches. These are kind of new for me. I started doing these consistently in the last couple months. And man, let me tell you, I've noticed a difference in my presses, in my rows, all my tennis strokes, my serve. I can feel my shoulder gliding through more easily. Just everything. I mean, when it comes to getting my chest opened up and getting my back moving freely, I can definitely notice a difference. So these deserve a spot in your daily routine. So a few little keys. One is, for me, feet shoulder width apart. I would assume if those of us a little more or less flexible, you can tweak that a little, but shoulder width apart is working great for me. 2 is a controlled tempo. I do see people try to rush these. They're a little uncomfortable, I won't lie, but don't rush because you really want to go deeper on each rep. There's a lot that you can gain in an exercise like this from getting outside your comfort zone and just going slow and pushing a little deeper on each rep. And the next thing you know, a month later, you feel like a different person. All right, the last exercise in my warm-up circuit, which I go through this circuit twice, is can openers. I got these from Tyreek Hill's YouTube page. By the way, that's a great way to find exercises, new exercises and warm-ups to do, is follow your favorite athletes or fitness icons, and when they post stuff, go check it out and throw some new things into your warm-up. I think that's the best place to learn new things is in your warm-up. You can do it without any weight. It's not going to inhibit your actual workout. And then you can master some new exercises, and who knows, they may become a part of your workout routines after a month or 2, but throw them in your warm-up first. So with that said, this is a really tricky exercise. So I'm going to go over a couple helpful concepts that have been helping me get a little better at these. I think I've done them 5 or 6 times. So I've just got a couple concepts for now, and we'll talk about those. The first is 90-degree angles. So you'll see as I come up here, I'm going to try to have a 90-degree angle between my thigh and upper body, a 90-degree angle in my left knee, and then as that leg comes back, that 90-degree angle in my knee is going to open up, obviously, but I'm thinking about having 90-degree angles. More closely related to that is the idea of parallel and perpendicular relationships to the ground. So on this rep, as my left shin comes up, it's perpendicular, my upper body is perpendicular to the ground, and then as I open up, they're going to become parallel with the ground. That concept can really help you take things slow and think about the relationship your body needs to have with the ground as kind of a landmark in what is really a tricky exercise to navigate. All right, so my warm-up is finished. Now I'm getting into incline bench. I'm still going to do at least one warm-up set. I do like the name priming sets for these because I'm really just kind of priming my muscles and more so my neural pathways to perform the exercise. So in a warm-up set like this, and this relates to the neural pathways, I'm mainly thinking about bar path. Am I getting the bar shooting straight up and straight down? Because once there's weight on there, it could be a nightmare for my shoulders if there's weight moving forward and back and I don't want to hurt myself. So is the bar path going straight up and straight down? Am I warmed up in that way? Two is bar speed. I'm going to go ahead and push that bar up fast and be ready to be explosive once I add weight onto that bar. So let's analyze a couple of these working sets real quick and go over three key concepts for today. One is muscle activation. You want to be activating those upper pec fibers and obviously some delt fibers. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to choose a natural grip and tuck my elbows in some so that I can move, a decent challenging amount of weight. I think a problem with when we start talking about moving our grips out real wide and things like that is you're putting your shoulders and even your pecs in a compromised position. You're increasing your chance for injury, and you might not actually be able to push the same amount of weight and challenge yourself and get the same bang for your buck anyway. So to me, I think just choosing a nice natural grip where you can bring the weight down with your elbows tucked in slightly, that's your best bet, and that's going to be your best grip on these. From there, like I talked about in the warm-up set, you're just moving the bar straight up and straight down. Ideally, you found a place where that weight is challenging your upper pec and shoulder fibers. So move that bar straight up and straight down, kind of envision like you're on a Smith machine, and you should be good to go. Up next, we get into some cable chest flies, another great chest movement. Kind of get to stretch them out a little bit on this exercise. So let's go over 4 key concepts on these real quick. The first that I like to talk about is a strong core. Especially in an exercise like this where you're standing and then you've got weight moving way out to your sides and you've kind of got long levers, you've really got to use your core. This is going to be a core exercise, so use it. 2 1-second holds. So what I mean by that is 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi. So those eccentric and concentric holds, hold those for a full second. It makes this a lot harder. 3 is squeezing a coin with your pecs, so a really tight squeeze. So as you come down, boom, right there, I'm squeezing a coin in between my pecs. I really like that cue. I first heard it from Flex Lewis, and it's helped me a ton on these ever since. 4, just like the bench press, natural positioning and range of motion. You're not going to gain anything other than an injury by making your shoulder go through some wacky range of motion because you're going to hit your upper pecs. I think you're way, way better off going through a natural range of motion where you can load up some weight and not hurt yourself and get stronger that way, and those pecs will grow. And after those flies, I finished with push-ups. I really liked going from the flies to the push-ups because of the core that both use. I thought that felt really good. So really recruit your core on push-ups. Don't get so caught up in your shoulders, pecs, and triceps hurting that you're not using your core. It's the most important thing in push-ups. Outside of that, 2 things I hit on a lot with these: strong hands and wrists and nose to the ground. So strong hands and wrists, what I mean by that is spread those fingers out and have a big surface area with your hands and really be strong in your wrists. That'll help you be more stable and avoid injury over a long period of time. 2, bringing the nose to the ground. I really like that cue for 2 reasons. 1, it makes you go slower because you don't want to hit your nose hard on the ground. 2, you go deeper on as many reps as possible. Go as deep on as many reps as possible on your push-ups. All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next video.